Imagine there is a mountain like this. A boy standing at some distance looks at the top of this mountain and he gets a crazy thought in his mind that he wants to know the height of this mountain. He cannot take a measuring tape and measure the height. So, how can he find out? If you observe, there are 3 points: top of mountain, foot of mountain, and the boy. Now, join these 3 points. So, we get three-sided closed geometrical figure called triangle. We can measure heights, distances, and slopes using some principles and techniques of triangles. These principles and techniques are studied under a separate branch of mathematics called trigonometry. Hello everyone, welcome to BPKM classes. This is your Praveen Kumar. In this video, we're gonna cover all the concepts of trigonometry that are prescribed in your syllabus. Let's get started. Let's decode this word trigonometry first. Trigonometry is a Greek word which we can divide into two, trigonon and metron. Trigonon means a triangle and metron means measure. So trigonometry is simply triangle measure. So we measure sides, angles of triangle using the concepts of trigonometry. Then what is the actual definition of it? Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with relationships between sides and angles of a triangle. We understand this definition much better when we move into the further concepts of trigonometry. I would like to remind you a couple of angles here. There are so many angles which we have learnt in our previous classes, like acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, complementary angles, supplementary angles, complete angle, etc. But here in trigonometry, we use these two angles most number of times, acute angle and right angle. Acute angle is an angle which is less than 90 degrees and right angle is an angle which is equal to 90 degrees. This has to be learnt properly. These are the two angles which we are going to use most number of times in our problem solving. Next, right triangle. Triangle with one of the angles equal to 90 degrees. So we all know a triangle has three interior angles. And if one of those three interior angles is 90 degrees, then we call that triangle as a right angled triangle or right triangle, because one of the angles is a right angle. The other two angles are acute angles. So those two are less than 90 degrees individually. Next, naming the sides in right triangle. For any right angle triangle, we can assign names to its sides. Those names are hypotenuse, opposite side, and adjacent side. Let us draw a triangle here to get better picture of it. So this is a right angle triangle. So I will give this triangle a name ABC. So it is clearly visible from the figure that 90 degrees is located at B. Now the side which is opposite to the right angle is called hypotenuse, or simply the longest side of triangle is hypotenuse. So one side is done. Next, we all know that the sum of all three interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. If one of the three angles is 90 degrees, then the sum of other two angles gives 90 degrees. That means both A and C are less than 90 degrees individually. So A is less than 90, C is less than 90. So they are called acute angles. We don't know what is the angle at C and what is the angle at A, but we know that angle is acute. So come here. So this is called theta. So this is a Greek character which is used to represent angles. So we generally use this symbol in place of angles. So here at C the angle is acute, so I write theta. And now the side which is opposite to the acute angle theta is called opposite side, and the side which is beside, which is adjacent to the theta is called adjacent side. This is how we name the sides of a right triangle or right angled triangle. You can ask me a doubt, sir, what if we consider the acute angle at A? I'll give that scenario also. Let us draw the similar triangle ABC, which is right angled at B. Hypotenuse does not change. Why? Because hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to the right angle. So this stays constant, hypotenuse. Now in place of C, I would like to consider acute angle at A. Now the side which is opposite to the acute angle A is called opposite side, and the side which is adjacent to the angle theta is called adjacent side. So what can we get from this? Hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to the right angle, and opposite side, adjacent side, both depends on the position of theta, both depends on the consideration of acute angle. If we consider acute angle at C, then AB becomes opposite side, BC becomes adjacent side. If we consider acute angle at A, BC becomes opposite side, AB becomes adjacent side. Next, trigonometric ratios. There are 6 trigonometric ratios, and these are those 6: sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. They are written in their short forms like sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, and cosec. Now what is a trigonometric ratio first of all? Trigonometric ratio is ratio of sides of a right triangle or right angle triangle. Let us have a right triangle first. So this is a right angle triangle, and let us give it a name ABC. Right angle is at B. And I would like to consider acute angle located at C. Now the side which is opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse. The side which is opposite to the theta is called opposite side, and the side which is adjacent or beside to the angle theta is called adjacent side. Now trigonometric ratio is ratio of sides of right triangle. Let us look at one by one. First of all, sine. Just sine is worthless. It should have an angle associated with it. So we take angle theta here. Sine theta. Sine theta is the ratio of opposite side and hypotenuse. So we write opposite side of theta divided by hypotenuse. It is a ratio of opposite side and hypotenuse. If you look at the figure, the opposite side of theta is AB and hypotenuse is AC. That's it. Next trigonometric ratio, cos. As I told you already, it should be associated with some angle, theta. Now cos theta is the ratio of adjacent side of theta and hypotenuse. So cos theta equals to adjacent side of theta divided by hypotenuse. From figure, adjacent side of theta is BC divided by hypotenuse is AC. Next, tan theta equals to trigonometric ratio tan is ratio of opposite side of theta and adjacent side of theta. So tan is the ratio of opposite side and adjacent side. Opposite side is AB here and adjacent side is BC. Next trigonometric ratio, cot. Cot is the ratio of adjacent side of theta and opposite side of theta. So cot theta equals to adjacent side of theta divided by opposite side of theta. Adjacent side of theta is BC divided by opposite side is AB. So I am deliberately writing of theta in every step. Why? Because so this theta is here. If there is 30 degrees in place of theta, we shall write adjacent side of 30 degrees by opposite side of 30 degrees. So whatever the angle is located here, that angle comes in formula. Next trigonometric ratio, secant, shortly sec. Secant is the ratio of hypotenuse and adjacent side of theta. So secant theta equals to hypotenuse divided by adjacent side of theta. Hypotenuse is AC here and adjacent side is BC. Last but not least, cosecant theta, shortly cosec. Cosecant is the ratio of hypotenuse and opposite side of theta. So cosecant theta equals to hypotenuse divided by opposite side of theta. Hypotenuse is AC divided by opposite side is AB. So these are the 6 trigonometric ratios. Is there any relation between these 6 trigonometric ratios? Of course there is a relation. I would like to make these 6 trigonometric ratios into 3 pairs. Sine and cosecant as one pair, cos and secant as other, tan and cotangent as another pair. Now these pair of trigonometric ratios are reciprocal to each other. Reciprocal means sine can be written as 1 by cosecant and cosecant can be written as 1 by sine. In the same way, we consider the other pair now. Now cos and secant are reciprocal to each other. That is, cos equal to 1 by secant and secant equals to 1 by cos. In the similar way, tan and cot are also reciprocal to each other. That is, tan can be written as 1 by cot and cot can be written as 1 by tan. Next, trigonometric table. Trigonometric table gives us the values of 6 trigonometric ratios with respect to 5 different angles. There is a huge process behind to find these values, but I am gonna give you a small technique to find these values as well as to remember them easily. Using this technique, even if you forget entire table on exam day, you can reconstruct the table within 2 minutes and can answer any question asked on this table. So first we find out the values of sine, and using those sine values we'll write the values of other trigonometric ratios. So there are 5 boxes, 5 spaces to fill in sine. So let us take first 5 whole numbers. First 5 whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the first 5 whole numbers. Now what do? Divide all these numbers with 4. 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4. Now if we solve this, 0 by anything gives us 0. 1 by 4, there is nothing to do much, so 1 by 4. Now 2 by 4. These 2 can be cancelled with the factor 2. 2 ones, 2 twos. So we get 1 by 2. 3 by 4 comes as it is. And here 4 and 4 gets cancelled and we get the value 1. Now apply square root for all these values. Square root of 0, square root of 1 by 4, square root of 1 by 2, square root of 3 by 4 and square root of 1. Now find these values. Under root 0 is 0. Now under root 1 by 4. This square root applies to both numerator as well as denominator. And if we apply square root to the numerator, root of 1 is 1 divided by root of 4 is 2. Why? Because 4 is a perfect square. Next, same, the square root applies to both numerator and denominator. We apply square root to the numerator, root 1 is 1 divided by root 2. Next, apply root to numerator, that is root 3 divided by. Now apply root to denominator, root 4 is 2. Now square root of 1 gives 1. Now we got these 5 values. Write these 5 values in the same order in the boxes provided for sign. 0, 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. Now to find out cos values, there is nothing to do much, just reverse the order of sign values. So at last we have written 1. So this 1 shall be written as first value for cos. Then root 3 by 2. Now 1 by root 2. Next 1 by 2. Lastly 0. I have just reversed the order of sign values. Now tan. Tan can be expressed as ratio of sine and cos. So now if you want to find out tan 0, it can be found out by applying sine 0 divided by cos 0. So whatever the angle you consider here shall be same for sine and cos. Sine 0 is 0 divided by cos 0 is 1. 0 by anything gives a 0. So we'll write 0 here. Next, for tan 30 is the ratio of sin 30 and cos 30. Sin 30 is 1 by 2 divided by cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Denominator gets cancelled as they have same values, and the remaining is 1 in the numerator and root 3 in denominator. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Next, for tan 45, it is a ratio of sin 45 and cos 45. Sin 45 is 1 by root 2 divided by cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Both the denominators having same value, root 2 gets cancelled. The remaining values are 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. 1 by 1 gives 1. So tan 45 is 1. Now to find out tan 60, it is the ratio of sin 60 and cos 60. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2 divided by cos 60 is 1 by 2. Denominator 2 gets cancelled The remaining is root 3 in the numerator and 1 in denominator. Root 3 by 1 is root 3. So we write root 3 in place of tan 60. Next, for tan 90 is the ratio of sin 90 and cos 90. Sin 90 is 1 by cos 90 is 0. 1 by 0 gives infinite. We cannot find out the value of 1 by 0. So we'll write undefined here. Now to find out the cot values, just reverse the order of tan values. So we'll begin with undefined. Next root 3, 1 by root 3 and this 0 here. Now we have to find out the values of secant. As we have already discussed, secant is the reciprocal of cos. So secant theta equals to 1 by cos theta. Now I want to find out secant 0. Secant 0 is 1 by cos 0. 1 by cos 0 is 1. 1 by 1. 1 by 1 is 1. So we'll write 1 here. Next, secant 30. Secant 30 equals to 1 by cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Denominator of denominator becomes numerator. So 2 becomes numerator and the value will be 2 by root 3. So secant 30 is 2 by root 3. Next, secant 45. Secant 45 means 1 by cos 45. 1 by cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Same, denominator of denominator becomes numerator. So root 2 by 1. Root 2 by 1 is root 2. Secant 45 is root 2. Next, secant 60. Secant 60 means 1 by cos 60. 1 by cos 60 is 1 by 2. Same, denominator of denominator becomes numerator. So 2 becomes numerator divided by 1. 2 by 1 is 2. So we'll write 2 here. Next, secant 90. Secant 90 is 1 by cos 90. 1 by cos 90 is 0. So 1 by 0 is undefined. So we write secant 90 as undefined. Now to find out the values of cosecant, you can find out in two ways. You can use the formula cosecant theta equals to 1 by sin theta and apply this formula for every value or every angle. Otherwise, you can reverse the order of secant values and write them in cosecant. Undefined first. Next 2. Next root 2. Next 2 by root 3. Next 1. So if you find out sine, you can get the values of cos by reversing sine values. If we get tan values, we can get the cot values by reversing tan values. If we have the secant values, we can write cosecant values by reversing secant values. Next, trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. What are complementary angles? Two angles are said to be complementary angles when sum of those two angles gives 90 degrees. So these are the complementary angles related trigonometric ratios. Number 1, sine of 90 minus a is cos a, cos of 90 minus a is sin a, and tan of 90 minus a cot a, cot of 90 minus a tan a. Next, cosecant of 90 minus a gives secant a, secant of 90 minus a gives cosecant a. How to remember this? So I have deliberately written these as 6 into 3 pairs. Sin and cos are one pair, tan and cot are other pair, cosecant and secant are another pair. So for 90 minus a angle, sin changes into cos, cos into sin. And if you apply tan for 90 minus a, it becomes cot. And if you apply cot for 90 minus a, it becomes tan. Same with the case cosecant and secant. So these are the 3 pairs, so we can easily learn and remember. Next, trigonometric identities. What is an identity? In mathematics, an expression is called identity when its value equals to 1. So here there are 3 trigonometric identities. Number 1, sin square a plus cos square a is equals to 1. So here angle has to be same for sin and cos. Then only this identity applies. Second, secant square a minus tan square a equals to 1. And third, cosecant square a minus cot square a equals to 1. That's all in this video. We'll meet in next one. If you really like this video, please do like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe BPKM classes for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.